This question, we have been given an array A of size n and queries, where in each query we will be given a start index and index, and for that particular subarray we have to find the sum. So let's take example. So let's say this is our array. So for say for the first query, our start index is 2 and end index is say 4. And for the second query, starting index is 1 and index is, let's say, 5. And we have to calculate the sum for each query. Let's take another third query for 0 to 3. The sum between index 2 to 4, this thing, sum between 2 to 4 is 3 plus 1 plus 6. And this is 11. Sum between index 1 to 5, this thing, this is, and sum between index 0 to 3, this is. So we have to calculate this sum. So let's see a very basic solution how we can achieve this. So very simply what we can do, we can traverse between the start index s to end index c. So we can write a for loop. We will start iterating from the start index s and go up to the end index e. We will have a variable for the sum, and yeah, so this is our solution. We can have start index s and index e as input and an integer array a. But this is for a single query q. We are doing this for single query q, single query, and we have to do this for q times. Q times. If we are doing this thing for q times, then the time complexity of this for loop is order of n, because we might be iterating from the very start index 0 to the end index 5. So time complexity of this for loop is n. And if you're doing this for q queries, then the time complexity of our solution becomes order of n times q. And this is not a good solution if we arise this problem in interview. So let's look at another solution. And before arriving to another solution, let's talk about prefix sum. So basically, what is prefix sum? Prefix sum is of index I is sum of all the elements starting from the 0th index up to that particular index. So if prefix sum at 0th index will be the sum of all the elements up to 0th index, that is 1. Prefix sum at 1 first index will be sum of all the elements up to 1, that is 1 plus 2, that is 3. Prefix sum at 2 will be sum of all the elements from 0 to 2, that is 1, 2, 3, that there is 6. Prefix sum at 3 will be sum of all the elements. So what we can do, we can somehow add the prefix sum at previous index to this element, and we will get the sum of all the elements up to 0 to 3. 6 plus 1 is 7. Then we can add 7 with 6 to get the prefix sum at this, 13 with 7 to get the prefix sum at this position. We have this array up to nth index, and we have some index here. Say some index is s minus 1. We have index s. Then we have some index e here to n. So s to e forms another subarray, and we have here prefix sum array. P of 0 is prefix sum at 0. Similarly, P of s minus 1 is prefix sum at index s minus 1. Yeah, and we have similarly PFS will be prefix sum at s. We want to calculate prefix sum at eth index. That is, we want to calculate P of e, and we have been given prefix sum up to P of s minus 1. That we have all the values of the prefix sum array, but we want to calculate the prefix sum at P of e, that is the e index. So what we can write it as, we know prefix sum of s minus 1 will give us the sum of all the elements from 0 to s minus 1. So what we are left of? We are left with, we need to calculate the sum between the index s to e. If we know the sum between this start index s to end index e, then we will get our prefix sum p of e. So let's write it as sum of all the elements from start index to end index e. And if we add these two, we will get prefix sum at end index e. And we can rewrite it as sum of elements from start to end will be prefix sum of e minus prefix sum at s minus 1. So this gives us our formula which we will be using for calculating the sum in a range s to e, using the prefix sum. So let's see how we can do this. First of all, we need to prepare the prefix sum array. If we are given an array A, that is P of s of size n, we will be having an array A of size n, and the first element of the prefix sum array, that is the 0th element, will be equal to A of 0. Why? Why that is so? Because the sum of all the elements up to 0th index is the first element of the array. Then after that, what we can do, we can write a for loop from I is equal to 1 up to I less than n, and here value of prefix sum array will be prefix sum of the previous element, that is I minus 1, plus the current element of the array. So this gives us the prefix sum array, and this will be done in order of n time. So once we have the prefix sum array, then how we can calculate the range sum query for a single query. For single query, we will be given start and end index and the sum of the element between start and end can be written as prefix sum of and minus prefix sum of start minus 1, and this can be achieved in order of one time. And if we are doing this for q number of queries, this will take order of q time. So our total time complexity is going to be order of q plus n. So order of n for preparing the prefix sum, and order of q for solving the range sum query for q number of queries. So this is the linear time solution, and it will usually expect this kind of linear solution in the interview. So this is the question related to range sum query on Leetcode, range sum query immutable. And there is one similar question, range sum query immutable, but the solution to this is later different. You can also try this one. Yes. So this is the question, the same question that we have discussed here, and this is the solution. Please try yourself first before using this solution. If you're stuck anywhere, then you can take hints from this solution. So there's a edge case that we have covered here. Like if for the range, if we have given left as 0, then definitely left minus 1, that is 0 minus 1 would become minus 1, and minus 1 isn't a possible index for the array. So we need to take care of that. Yeah, so this is the solution. I will put the link for this question in the details. Please check out.